So I get this question a lot too, as far as like, how do I maintain my hair at work, or has my hair ever caused a problem while working? And this topic is so important to me because there are so many other Black men and women that have already faced hair discrimination when it comes to the workplace, schools, sports, and so forth, with their locks, braids, twists, and other natural hairstyles as well. I've been wearing my hair like this for years, and if a job or whoever just can't accept it, then that's not a place for me. I've been working at my job for about 3 years now, and keep in mind my hair was shorter back then, but the rings, the pendant, exactly how you see me except shorter is how they hired me. So I wear my hair to work just like this, without a problem. However, my 2 previous jobs that I had prior to working for this company, I did run into an issue as far as like my hair. In both times, I sued immediately. Now, keep in mind, the Crown Act was not passed and still isn't passed in my state of Mississippi. And I won both times, baby. Because one thing I'm not going to allow anyone to do is to strip me of who I am. And I highly recommend for other men and women to get on that train now that the Crown Act has been passed in certain states. Because, baby, let that shit happen to me again. I'ma sue again.
So which of these people do you think would get an interview at a management consulting firm? Unfortunately, not that many, as recent studies have shown that still people are getting discriminated against, and there's a ton of bias around people who wear more Afro-centric hairstyles. So if you have an Afro-centric style, but you're still trying to get to that corporate bag, what are you supposed to do? Well, let's talk about it. I'm Colin. I'm a first-generation professional in corporate America, and I've been Black for quite some time now, so I've got a little bit of experience here. So let's actually talk about this study. It was done back in 2015, and these researchers compared photos of women with different hairstyles. And they concluded that Black women with more Afrocentric hairstyles were also more likely to be perceived as more dominant and less professional than white women, as well as Black women with more Eurocentric styles, which is essentially a fancy way of saying they had straight hair. But here's what no one else is going to tell you, and why, if you're not already, you should probably follow me. It is up to you as an individual to determine the role that your hairstyle plays in your identity. Of course, it sucks that because of how you choose to wear your hair, you may or may not get a job that could change your life, could change your family's life. But if the gap between the life you want and the life you currently have is a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch of hair, it's up to you to determine whether making that change is worth it based on your long-term goals and your personal individual identity. And hopefully, yes, one day when there are enough of us in positions of power and influence, we can change these rules and remove these biases, both spoken and unspoken, that allow people with these styles to not get the opportunities that they deserve and that they're qualified for. But that means that in the short term, somebody has to be first. The only question you have to ask yourself is, do you want that person to be you?
Okay, so this video is really helpful because, yes, as a Black woman, I have understood for a very long time that how I wear my hair will, well, I won't say will, but it can impact how people treat me. That goes for Black American people, Black people outside of America, or I say America, I mean the United States of America, right? That goes for white people in America, white people outside of America. When I say white, I'm referring to European in origin, right? When I say Black, I'm referring to African in origin when it comes to ancestry. Anyway, yes, I know this, but it is really interesting, and I think even a clarification when you see real data showing that, hey, you're not crazy. People really do treat you differently based on you wearing your hair as it naturally flows out of your head or shaped into an afro, braids, twists, whatever, versus you just straightening your hair or getting a silk press, right? So, what do y'all think about this? Are you a Black woman? Do you wear your hair naturally in the office? Do you straighten it? And tell me why. Also, check out the video I recently made where I compiled a lot of different conversations that were had on TikTok about Black hair, women's Black hair, right? Or Black women's Black hair. Afro textured, straightened, what works, what doesn't, how are people treated, what happens when you wear a sew-in, how do people treat you differently, right? So those different women tell their stories. So anyhow, these women are telling their stories. Let me know your thoughts. But something else that I just can't get out of my mind is that there are a lot of Black women that I have come across that have made success in the corporate world, whether it's due to a title, they're a director, a VP of something, right? Or maybe an SVP or lead over an area within corporate. But I have to admit, there's not a lot of women that I see. And out of the women that I've known that have shown some type of success, there's on one half naturalistas, and then on the other half, there's the more conformed look that I have to admit I'm a part of, the silk press gang. But if there are any Black women that wear their hair naturally to work, to interviews, have gained, really great opportunities in the corporate world, share your tips in the comments or make your own videos. Don't gatekeep, tell other people any tips that you have, because there's now real data showing that it's a lot more difficult for Black women, outside of all the other challenges as a woman, as being a Black person, you combine the two, right? Let alone anything else you have that is counting against you. But there's real evidence that we have it harder in the workplace when we wear our hair in this natural form. Now, something that I do know that many people do, whether it's people that have tattoos, people that like to color their hair outside of what's kind of traditional or their natural color, is show up to interviews in more of the conformed format, right? Maybe you have your hair a Black color and then you dye it a different color after you get the job, right? You hide your tattoos, and then when you get your job, you can show that you have this tattoo on your arm, right? Doing things of that manner. Maybe you come with the sew-in, right, during the interview. And then once you're onboarded, pow, here comes my afro, hello, or my, locks, what have you. So yes, that's something that immediately comes to mind that I'm sure plenty of people will do. But we shouldn't really have to do that, right? We should be able to be ourselves during the interview and when we get a job. Obviously, our professional self, but still true to ourselves. But maybe that's the answer. If it's not the answer, let me know in the comments. Because for myself, I have to say I'm okay with silk presses, but I have been venturing out into thinking about just natural styles and what works and what could work for my hair. And no, that doesn't mean I'm never going to wear silk press, but I am exploring right now, and I would like to know what the options are for me and what the impact could be if I show up to interviews with an afro, right? Anywho, let me know what you think about all of this and your tips for other women if you are a successful Black woman in corporate. If you're not a Black woman in corporate, share your tips too. If you are outside of the Black community and you have different thoughts when you see someone with different hairstyles, let me know. And it could be positive things. I have heard plenty of positive statements from people outside of my race and also outside of my culture about my hair when I have styled it differently. More of it has been positive, but I have to also admit that there are questions that people also have, and I'm not in other people's brains, and I don't know what type of thoughts they're having that are negative. And with this research showing that there are some negative thoughts that people have when coming across someone with a different hairstyle, and also for myself and other women sharing their experiences by simply changing their hairstyle to getting positive or negative feedback from people out in the world or out in their offices. So anyway, I could go on a bit more about this topic, but I'm going to keep it short and leave it here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I look forward to talking with you in the comment section. Talk to y'all later.
Hey, Bailey.
Hey, Becky.
Oh my God.
What?
Your hair.
What about it?
It just looks so different. It just looks different.
Does it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh, you're just shocked?
Yeah, I like it the other way a lot better.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, that's good to
cute
know.
too, though.
That's good to know.
That's really cute.
All right. All right,
Yeah.
I'll see you in the meeting. Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you in a sec.
HR, please. I'll hold. I've been needing a vacation. Yes.